Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to the violin build. Today I'm applying a solution to the inside of the plate. It's a mixture of gum Tragacanth and this is what it looks like, and also gum Arabic, which is this. What got me interested in using gum Tragacanth, that's hard to say, gum Tragacanth. Anyway, what got me interested in that is that it was mentioned in a book that was written around in the late, somewhere between the late 1600s and the late 1700s. And it mentioned using this gum as a wood sealer or size. So I started doing some research to try and find out a recipe for mixing up the mixture, and it was almost impossible to find. There is a luthier making YouTube videos who sells a recipe for a very high price, and I didn't think it was worth that, so I invented my own recipe. So this is what the gum Tragacanth looks like. If you want to make any of this, I would suggest buying powdered gum Tragacanth, because it does need to be ground into a fine powder, and this stuff is as hard as a rock and it's really hard to grind, but I managed to grind it into a very fine powder. Hold on, I'll show you the gum Arabic. So this is what the gum Arabic looks like. It's soluble in water, and you also have to crush that into a powder, but it doesn't. It can be a coarse powder. It doesn't have to be fine, like the Tragacanth gum. So I'm going to give you my recipe in case anyone out there ever wants to make any. If you're building a violin and you'd like to apply this size to it. The recipe is, oh wait, hold on. Oh, here's the mixture. I put it in an old curry spice bottle. That's so the recipe is 2 grams of very finely powdered gum Tragacanth mixed with 50 milliliters of water. You once that's mixed, you put it in a refrigerator and let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. It will form a very thick gel, and so you do that in one container. In a separate container, mix the gum Arabic with also 2 grams with 50 milliliters of water, and the gum Arabic will dissolve in the water, and it'll be a thin watery mix. It won't be a thick gel like the Tragacanth. So once you have those two mixtures, you just mix them together. Add the Arabic mixture to the gum mixture slowly and stir it a lot as you're adding it in. And then I added 20 milliliters of denatured alcohol, and that prevents mold. These water-soluble gums will develop mold if you store them for a long time without adding anything to prevent that. So the denatured alcohol prevents the mold growth. And also it should be kept in a refrigerator. And there's a fly flying around. Get out of here. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to apply that. I had thought about adding some color. The other luthier that I've seen using this mixture adds caramel color, but and I started to make some, but I decided it wasn't worth the effort. No one's going to look at the inside of the instrument much anyway. I had thought about adding some color just to darken it so it's not so white, but the only time you're going to see the inside is looking through the F-hole anyway. So, but I am going to add the sealer to it, and so that's what I'm doing in this video. Next video, I'm going to start working on the edge work and gluing the top plate to the ribs. So stay tuned.